Hello, everyone. Um, I just saw something, and I kind of need to share it with everyone because another thing has come about, which I think might be a contender for the new stupidest thing I've ever heard already. Which is weird because it usually takes a lot longer than this. I've actually hold on screen. I've actually decided that I'm going to start keeping a list here for like the constant runners up of the new stupidest thing I've ever heard. And let's see, below this needs to go that. But anyways, new contender and one that I think might genuinely take the cake. Like worse than atheists don't worse than atheists don't protest churches. All right, so here's the story. I was browsing through Snopes, as is my custom, and I came upon a legend, which in their language category, which they rated as true, where the claim was that a congresswoman called for hurricanes to be given African American names. Now, what actually happened was that a congresswoman who was black, this is according to the Snopes article, what actually happened, essentially called for more diversity in hurricane names in general, and mentioned black names among the things she would like to see. So it's not quite like this chain email, which according to the Snopes article, which I will link below on the very off chance that I remember to do so, probably sometime next week I'll finally get around to it. Anyways, according to it, this has been shared by people let me hold on. Quoting from the Snopes article, the racist nature of the shouldn't do my stupid reading voice with Snopes. The racist nature of the message quoted above, I'll get to it in a second, has cost the job of at least one person who passed it along via email in 2005. A contract employee for Cobb County, Georgia, was fired for sending it through the county's computer system. Cobb spokesperson, it goes on this. Then it says, in August 2007, the mayor of Oak Ridge, North, Texas, was moved to ask for the resignation of one of the town's councilpersons who had forwarded the email to three city employees in June of that year. The emailer, Councilman Tony Butler, I'm sorry, it's the middle of the night, admitted he had made a stupid mistake, but said that he did not plan to step down. Here's the email, and I'm going to read the thing in its entirety, and it's the last line, which actually really gets it. Quote, and this one I am going to do the stupid voice for. Well, it appears our African-American friends have found something else to be pissed about. A black congresswoman, this would be Sheila Jackson Lee of Houston, reportedly complained that the names of hurricanes are all Caucasian-sounding names. She would prefer some of the names that reflect African-American... She would prefer some names that reflect African-American culture, such as Chamiqua, Woshia, and Jamal. I can hear it now. A black weatherman in Houston saying, "Word up, mother." No. Word up, mothers. Hurricane Chamiqua be heading for Galveston like Leroy on crotch rocket. Bitch be a category 4. So turn off them chitlins. Don't know what the fuck that is. Grab your children, leave your crib, and head for the nearest FEMA office for your free shit. So, apparently, this person thinks that hurricane relief is a form of mooching. Which, to be fair, that was at least, and I remember this specifically. That was essentially how conservatives, or at least certain conservatives I happen to know, um, not necessarily my parents, reacted to Hurricane Katrina. Was by saying essentially something along those lines. But I guess I've just, now that I've seen it here put that way, it's like that. That's one of the big ones. Just to see someone who believes something that monumentally fucking stupid. I mean, the one thing that kind of knocks it down is the fact that it's in the context of a chain email. So maybe, the story being told here is that of, a minor hurricane, but like it would seem to me that if FEMA is doing something, it's in response to a legitimate need. Like like if a, I don't know, like a category point 3, I don't know how the terminology works, but if a truly tiny hurricane came through that didn't actually require assistance, I don't think any would be given, or at least not too much, and that's definitely not the typical hurricane. So yeah, I'm going with this person has now said that hurricane relief is a thing that when black people accept hurricane relief, at least some black people, or well, the typical black person accepts hurricane relief, they are trying to mooch off the government. They don't actually want relief from, the natural disaster that just struck them, because either the natural disaster isn't real or really substantial, or they're just too short-sighted because melanin makes that happen to them. Um, and it's just fucking hell, man. That's duh. So I've decided to start like a new segment on this channel where every time I see something that is like a legitimate candidate for the new stupidest thing ever, or something that's worthy of being on my leaderboard, I'm going to catalog it. So let's back up over here. I am kind of debating to myself like where exactly that should go, but because like, do you know what? Yeah, it goes on top. So new number 1. Let me we're just gonna... Like, wow, Karl Baugh, the guy who said that the asteroid belt is the remnants of a planet blown up by the fucking Nowakian Death Star theory is the fourth dumbest thing I've ever heard. And the highest ranking one, incidentally, that's from a Christian fundamentalist talking about Christian fundamentalism, or a religious fundamentalist. Calpern Pizzo is an anti-theist, and two of them are from racists. So, maybe that provides a lesson on where the real stupidity is in this world. Maybe the dumbest statements out there, and the ones that involve the most mind-boggling blindness to reality, are actually ones about black people. Just, like, I'm just kind of rendered like semi-speechless here. 5 should go to... Doesn't know that's a name. I don't care. Alright, so I guess while I have all of your attention, I may as well do some shameless self-promotion in one other respect, namely, all of you should totally check out my blog, which I will also link in the description. It is called Universes with Meaning. It's one of a couple blogs I have, and I publish short stories. Well, it's a web serial on it. A web serial called Angel of Death is currently what I'm working on. And I publish every Sunday, including the Sunday that happened before now, which is currently the wee hours of Monday. And so, like, earlier in this session of consciousness, because I've not gone to bed yet, just, good God. How the fuck is the Nowakian Death Star the fourth stupidest thing I've ever heard? That, like, I mean, I know how. Yeah, I know how. It's because racists and Calpern Pizzo are both monumental morons who just have who just lack a basic understanding of how the real world works. And really, I feel like this sentiment that black people are, that when people in general, because Kent Hovind has spoken out against the idea of hurricane relief or disaster relief. I think it was Kent Hovind. I think there is this general idea among a section of the right that disaster relief is a form of government mooching. And of course, the biggest hurricane in, my lifetime or in my living memory, for me the biggest hurricane in my lifetime personally was Katrina, which hit New Orleans very heavily, which of course is full of black people. And I believe it was Kanye West who accurately pointed out that George Bush did not care about black people. Which, maybe not accurate. I mean, I don't think it's so much that he doesn't care about black people. I'd be surprised to learn that he cares about black people as much as he cares about white people. Probably cares about them a little bit, at least in the abstract, maybe. Probably. Racism is subconscious, except when you're one of these fuckwits, because like they take like this subconscious phenomenon of racism that it's subconscious in the average person, um, and you know basically turn the baser instincts of mankind into an ideology, and it is somehow stupider than you would expect it to be from that description. Stupider, more based on blind acceptance of intuition, more based on blindness to reality, more based on hatred and territorialism and groupthink and friggin' psychological imbri or just that's all I have to say. So if you have something that you think can get onto my leaderboards, if you have something that can beat the current number 5, or do you want maybe you can maybe if even if you think it could make it into the top 10, if you have an idea, put it in the comments and tell me, and just Um, I guess the only rule is that it has to be a non-sarcastic. Well, it can be sarcastic. Okay, the stupid sentiment underlying the statement has to have been really held by the person. So if I were to sarcastically state, "Sure, melanin makes you into a stupid criminal person," that wouldn't count unless it were somehow stupid to suppose that melanin didn't do that, which isn't the case because it's stupid to suppose that melanin does. It's just, I gotta do that thing where I dramatically and frustratedly close my computer, even though I could just turn it on. I just gotta. Fucking hell.